So we're back for another one because I was passing and I messaged you yesterday to say, do you want to do a podcast? And your response was yes, because it would be a break from the monotony of lambing.
Yep.
Which I was hopeful that I knew the answer to the question, is it better than last year? To which your answer is?
Yes. Yep. It would have to go with something to be worse.
Yeah.
Would have to have some proper disease and pestilence.
Yeah.
But I have talked to some people who lambed that bit earlier, who were having problems with, what was it, Schmallenberg?
Oh, yeah.
And because they lambed earlier, they have to put the tups in earlier. And it's during a period when the midges are still active.
Yeah.
And that's what's kind of caused it.
Yeah. So they need to go later to avoid it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you want to try and avoid it. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't completely avoid it.
Yeah.
Because it's another thing that's out there. Honestly, I talked to the vet a while ago, and just the list of things that are out there, just poised, ready to decimate an entire flock of sheep, is unreal.
It does you bad, doesn't it?
There's just one thing after another.
Yeah.
And you think you've got a handle on it and you know what's what, and then another thing crops up, and blue tongue, Schmallenberg, Yoni's, all these new diseases that are coming along, just wipe you out, done.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Because I was listening to the Fed by Farmers podcast.
Yeah.
And they'd had a professional pedigree sheep farmer on, and those boys, because it's a bit of an arms race, especially if you're selling tup lambs as opposed to the tups, you want to be lambing as soon as possible, so the bigger when you sell them, basically, because size sells. So they were all, they're sort of probably lambing around Christmas time.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? And he in particular had a shocker with Schmallenberg. And just ripping through the flock.
Yeah, it's not good, is it?
And he said it's just... The problem was also, it wasn't just the fact that you've got maybe a deformed lamb. It was trying to get that lamb out of the sheep.
Right.
If some of the joints just weren't bending. Because it's... some of the fights that I've had this year, they haven't been too bad. It's not as bad as, I think 2 or 3 years ago, we had just massive lambs.
Right.
I don't know what I'd done differently, but the lambs were enormous.
Yeah.
We had such a fight especially if a single was coming and you saw the back legs coming first, you just knew, this is going to be tricky. Because you'll get them so far easy, and then you'll get them to the rib cage. They get stuck.
Yeah.
Because the ribs are sort of pointing backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas it's almost like a bar. They'll then start to lift and catch.
Yeah.
And if you do get it past the rib cage, you've then got all the shoulder and head and everything coming at once. It's, you'll get so far and then just stop. And because it's backwards, you want it out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
She starts heaving too much, she's just going to fill it with fluid.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You just got to be on your toes.
Some of the stuff that people don't know about lambing sheep. There's always one thing. And there's always something to catch up.
That's it. You can also tell, especially with them being inside, you've got a better sort of chance of looking at something, and if you see that something's been sort of in labour or paining away for a while and nothing's happened, you think, yeah, we need to have an investigation here. There's something wrong. And I had one the other day it was just kind of, the lamb was coming backwards. Let's say the back end had slipped under, so it was actually coming with spine first.
Oh yeah.
So it was really had a hell of a job to get the back legs sort of folded up, and then so I could curve them round and then straighten them out behind them.
Yeah.
Because I have pulled them just by the hocks before now, just to get them set up, but I didn't have a chance of that. And the problem was that every time I'd sort of tried that, the lamb inside was kicking.
Oh no!
Every time I tried something, it just did that. Its leg. So yeah, that was it. But once I finally got everything sort of unfolded and coaxed round, but it's just the sheer frustration you have at the time because there's pressure on everything, and you can't really make an open space in there because it's instantly filled with something.
Yeah.
Either other bits of lamb or the other lamb that's in there. And you just kind of... The key thing is not to panic.
Yeah.
You know, you just don't panic. There's no need for any sort of brutal sort of riving about or anything. And also, the other thing is to know your limits. If it gets to a point, or you know that something isn't going to happen, or you think there's no way that thing's fitting out of there, then pick up the phone, go and talk to the vet, go and get it whipped open. Speaking of that, James, through the sunroof. Yeah. I don't believe we've talked about this, have we? This is a hell of a segue.
Yeah, this is epic.
There we go. I was trying to turn it round, but I've done it.
Yeah, not sure how Lynn's going to like that, but yeah.
Didn't see that puppy coming, did you?
Yeah. So yeah, Wilf has arrived.
Yeah, a little baby H
through the sunroof, as a cesarean.
Yep.
So yeah,
which begs the question: what are you doing swanning about here?
You
even said on camera, I've been just trekking about up and down the Dales, just mincing about and just wasting time. Yeah.
No,
brand new baby in the house and three other kids.
I had a job to do that I didn't get done before he came, and so that's why I've been to do that job and then dropping stuff off for other people, which wasn't far from where I've done done a lap, which is why I'm coming back past here.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. I know that was different. Was that? So the first three were born not natural way, and Wilf was born by cesarean, which was an experience.
Yeah,
it was good for like the trouble is with that sort of stuff. Like as a man, it's almost like you. Whether you're I don't know whether you're entitled to an opinion really, because it's not like you're just a sort of passenger. You're just watching it.
Your part to playing this finished 9 months ago. So.
Yeah. So like, but what got me about it? The two things that got me is like went into the pre-op room. There were 7 people in that room for a cesarean.
Right.
Went through. So that's where Lindsay got a spinal block put in her to be able to, and then go
like the epi.
Yeah, it's an epidural. Well, it's like epidural, but it's different. It's called a spinal block.
Yeah.
I think the difference is they don't leave anything in. So with an epidural, they leave like a pipe in, so they're constantly feeding it.
The needle's left it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with the spinal block, they don't do that. They put it in, check it's working, and then wheel you into the theatre, which is next door.
Oh.
So, and there was 10 people in the theatre. Yeah, so that was just like mental that in theory, yes, we do pay for it, but equally,
this strain you people put on the NHS. You people.
Well, I think one of them will be giving back because she's decided she wants to do an obstetrician. So I think they might get the money back in a roundabout way. Future staff.
You're breeding staff.
Yeah. So there was that, and then the other thing that was quite entertaining was so they basically I get a stool in the corner while they're doing while they're getting sorted out, and then they basically say right, you can move near to Lindsay's head, and there's basically like a sort of a screen, but it only goes so high up, so I can see what's going on.
Yeah,
but like as if I'm looking down like that.
So and Lindsay doesn't. You as part of the team or anything?
No, I know. I just.
Forceps.
Yeah, I think I'm better off keeping out of it. To be honest. But I could tell Lindsay what was happening.
Yeah.
Because if she can't feel anything, she doesn't know what's happening.
No.
So yeah, I was sort of giving a
running commentary.
Yes. Well, because she wanted to know. So
exactly. Yeah.
I was telling her. And
how. Go on, tell me, how did you approach that then? Because the scenario just ran through my head then, and I just thought, how do you approach that in a caring, sharing manner? Well,
I wouldn't say I did. Well, to start with, I just said what was happening. they started like Lindsay didn't know when they'd started like
Yeah.
cutting, and I was like, they've started, yeah. And then I said, oh yeah, he's on his way out. He's coming out bum first.
Like a drunk ninja.
Yeah. Oh, he was in there. He was like straight in there. The surgeon, like yeah. And I think it was 12 minutes from like starting to out,
Done.
and then it takes quite a long time to sew everything back up on the way back out.
Yeah.
But what was quite entertaining was I don't know how we got onto the subject of it, but I was
in the theatre.
in the theatre, yeah. But there's like all these people there, and like, hey, you're quite good at this, aren't you? I was like, what do you mean? Like, well, like you've watched it happen, and you've been talking to Lindsay, telling her what's happening. I was like, right, why? Well, some people just faint and end up on the floor. It's like, do they? This is, oh yeah. Oh, we've been watching you to make sure to see if you go white. So they were watching me to see if I fainted. I was like, oh wow. So that was a bit altered. Yeah, it was like that. Just made me laugh.
You've seen calves come out to the side.
Yes, that's what I did say. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure it was appropriate to say it, but that's what I did say. I was like, well, I've seen it before with cows.
I would say it's very appropriate.
Well, it sort of explains why.
Yeah.
Like,
but you
just
didn't
deal
have
with
Lindsay
it.
trapped behind the gate.
No.
Stop kicking.
Yeah. So yeah, and the other thing was because he came out like that, I got to hold him first. Oh. Which with all the other threes, obviously Lindsay held them, the girls.
Yeah.
So that was different.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, that was and he's doing all right. Can't really complain. And generally because Lindsay,
you always seem to have had a decent experience whenever you've gone off to, was it Harrogate this time?
Yeah, Harrogate.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think in fairness, the reason I'm here is because Lindsay's awesome. And Lindsay's mum is there and she's been awesome and helping out. So yeah, the reason I can swan off and do what I'm doing is because they have got it and they are on it and yeah.
Dookie.
They're doing a sterling job.
So how is she? Is she fairly mobile now then?
Yeah, yes, she is. Because the funny thing is, like, this is what people don't get about cesareans. Like, it's a different way of doing it, but it's a lot longer recovery.
Yeah.
And one of the challenges is that she's not allowed to lift anything. What is it? I can't remember what they said now, but
like
she's not allowed to lift anything.
Baby.
Well, no, she can lift the baby, but she can't lift Lucinda.
Yeah.
So she basically can't pick Lucinda up for 3 months because they've cut through all your stomach muscles.
Yes. And
so
Lucinda will be taking it quite badly.
Yes, she has taken it quite badly. Yes. But it's quite entertaining because if anyone's got a cat and you go away on holiday, when you come back, inevitably the cat hates you for a certain amount of time until it thinks, actually, I'm going to forgive you for abandoning me. Well, that's exactly what Lucinda did. Wouldn't talk to Lindsay for 24 hours. And yes, so that's been quite entertaining to watch. And all of a sudden, Daddy's the favourite.
Daddy's number one.
Yeah. Which is like, oh, this is different.
Moved on, mother.
Yeah. But she has come round, but she was not talking to her at all for the first 24 hours. Which is it's just amusing to watch, really. Yeah. But in fairness, like, Fliss and Zoe, they were absolutely besotted straight away. And, Lucinda's just taken a bit of adjusting, which was kind of inevitable because, her world has been turned upside down.
Well, she has been the baby for a while.
Yes.
She has had the attention of everybody and her 2 older sisters.
Yes. Yeah. She's had 22 months.
Now.
Yeah.
What's this that you brought her?
How dare you?
No. Put it back. Go put it.
Send it away.
Lulu, put it in the bin.
So no, it's
Where's Will? Bin.
Yeah. Where he should be. Not here. So yeah, it's we're doing all right.
Good.
And keeping out of mischief. So yeah.
Like you say, you can swan about now.
Well, I don't intend to do that much of it. I had this one thing that didn't get done before Wilf landed, and I was like, I really need to get it done.
Just one thing.
Oh, well,
because you were running around like a maniac.
Well, fortunately, we had Phil came.
Phil.
He came and helped, which was a massive help, and he's coming back next week. So yeah, just need to get him away welding, and then that'll be awesome, won't it?
Yeah.
Take the pressure off. And yeah, so we did have quite, as well as Wolf Landing last week, I sold a 3-row AI weeder, which is, pretty mind-blowing, to be honest. This is to a lad down in near Boston who goes pumpkins.
So do you have to connect that up to Skynet, or does it do that itself? And what guns does it come with?
Well, it doesn't come with any guns. It comes
What
with
model number? What was it? A T. It's early days, so what is it, like a T?
T2000? Is it the Terminator?
Yeah.
Is it? So yeah, that was interesting. And there's currently organising a trip to Austria to basically go and learn about them and make sure we know what we're doing before it lands.
So, what were his? Because, like you said, you will have interrogated the poor man. What were his push factors for that? Then, just the fact that he was struggling to get staff.
Yes, and paying £15.50 or £15.75 for staff that weren't very good.
Really?
Yeah.
And where's this? Lincoln?
Boston. Yeah, Lincolnshire. You get 30 or 40 people in a field to weed pumpkins, paying them £15.50 an hour. He says you don't get a full day out of them, and you'll get 3 or 4 that are really good, and the rest are just rubbish. And they're just not doing
that wage bill for the day.
It's £3,700 and some pound a day for a rubbish job. So
that is how things add up.
Yeah. Oh, it does. Yeah, you do the maths on that. Rapidly, it's just like that's how this justifies it. And it's like, yeah. And I've been aware of that because basically the staff that they're getting down there, they just won't. It's hard to explain, but you're paying them a wage, and if you tell them they're doing a rubbish job, they just walk off. So you either get no job, or
so this
half-assed job.
Properly casual labour.
Oh yeah, this is like, yeah. And if you tell the wrong, if you have a go at the wrong one, and he's the one that's in charge, it's not just him; it's all the others that he's in charge of go at the same time. So I've been adamant that what I've done in agriculture since I left Harper, 2002, everything I've done has been driven by the lack of labour. So robot milking machines, the number one reason why people put them in was lack of labour. The Spiperi machinery, the Spiperi weeders, again, lack of labour to hand hoe. This is like the next one on from that. This is AI weeders. This is, instead of having someone on the back of a Spiperi machine, you've got a camera that does it. And the people have been asking, could you put a camera on a Spiperi machine? And the answer, well, the Spiperi have done it.
Yeah.
But,
anything's possible.
Yeah.
But it's what will work best and what will be financially viable.
Yeah. And the one reason that this customer likes this machine is because the forward speed is impressive.
Reasonable.
Yeah. Doing 5-6K weeding pumpkins. That's the one that's out already, isn't it? It's not a...
Yeah. She's not laid on it. It's just having a poo. I think she's not laid on it. Oh, we had one in there the other day that had been... The whole pen. There was only 2 lambs in the whole pen. Yeah, I managed to lie on one of them.
Genius.
Fantastic.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I can see it. No, it's breathing. I can see it breathing.
Oh.
Just after attention.
Yeah.
But you see, it's Boy That Cried Wolf now. I'll hear that again. I'll just go, oh, it's all right.
Yeah. Be dead. That's breath.
Exactly.
The last opportunity to save it, and it's... Yeah.
Yeah. If I keep looking over your shoulder, it's because there's one lambing just over.
No, very good.
Just keep an eye on.
And you've had a new arrival yourself in the form of a light green and red wheeled machine.
Sorry, I thought, yes, the Valtra has gone.
Yeah.
And been replaced by the cheapest Fendt 700, possibly in the world.
Right.
I was thinking in the UK, and then I thought, well, it's definitely that. Then I was thinking, well, Europe, yeah, probably.
Right.
And then I thought, well, probably everywhere.
Right. But it's come from the same place that the voucher came from.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep.
I bet he's a bit sick because he's had back. He's like, oh, thank God, I've got rid of that thing, and then he's coming back.
No, but he knows he's done his maths.
Yeah.
And put in an offer where he's happy. So
And in fairness to you, it won't be any worse than it was when he got here because you'll have.
I spent thousands on that thing.
Yeah.
Sorted a lot of problems out.
So arguably, he's
just got it to a nice, usable point, and then chopped it. And why?
Yeah.
Because the accountants said I had to.
Right.
The accountants have told me to spend money. Borrow money so I can then be seen to be spending it to get me off paying tax that I haven't made a profit for to end up paying it in the first place.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit weird, but yeah, it's very, very odd. I'm currently borrowing money just so I can spend it to buy something I didn't desperately need.
No.
There's other things I could have spent it on, but I thought, well, let's have a go.
Yeah. Because it will be easier on the wrapper as well than the voucher was.
Yeah, exactly. You've got your rev set, wrapper just coming away, and then you can just do everything on the joystick.
Yeah.
Just quietly away. Just do what you need to do. Stop, fine. Move backwards an inch, not a problem.
Yeah.
Just sit it on a hillside rather than just sort of get somewhere near and then jump on the brakes. On a hillside was the worst. You jump on the brakes and then you be on with the handbrake and then wait for it to finish and then or trundle off to the next one. But generally your trundle speed was never just quite right, if you know what I mean. You'd always end up stopping somewhere.
Yeah.
Or because you'd always try and fine tune it.
Because your revs are fixed to run the wrapper.
Really, yeah.
So you don't have that much flexibility in your forward speed with a gearbox.
No.
Because you pick a gear and it could be slightly too fast or slightly too slow.
You could tickle your power shifts slightly.
Yeah.
So you could, but if all bales were left evenly across a field, which in theory they should be, then you should be able to do that. But that's not the case because most fields you're going into, especially if there's a slightly shorter crop, you're hardly doing a bale per row.
Oh, yeah.
In a lot of them, or everything's just sort of staggered off. So there could be like one headland that's just covered.
Yeah.
And then nothing. It just depends on how it sort of ends up staggered.
How it falls.
But yeah, it should be a lot easier. Just sort of, I want to stop now. I'll just pull back on that.
Yeah.
But it isn't TMS, so it doesn't have pedal mode, which is a bit of a pain. I would have preferred one with, and then I'd have just driven it on the throttle.
Yeah.
But it's not a killing matter.
No.
Now that 7480 I had, that Fergie, that had pedal mode, but it was just far too sensitive, and the pedal wasn't damped in any way.
Right.
And it was bloody choppy, like really choppy. Like shouldn't have been so sensitive, but it was.
Right. Yeah.
To the point where you think, well, this is unusable. Like for instance, I was talking to some people that were using pedal mode to like run the forager. Right. You could also set your dial down to how much it would respond, how reactive it was to a drop in revs to pull the forward speed back.
Yeah.
Like you can leave it really loose and just, let it pull back the revs a bit just because either you're going up a hill or whatever, but then just let it take up again when you're finished. Or if you're running a forager, you could whack that right off. So it was really sort of reactive, as in you feel the rev start to drop, you're going into somewhere a bit thicker, pull your forward speed down.
Right.
But I never just got the chance to really use that. I did have a forager on the back of it, but the forager was so small it never made it cough.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it was a big tractor, but it was only a little
forager.
Yeah, just 3 knives wide. It did a very good job of cutting it, like really proper precision, because it had a new set of knives in, turned the bar, and but throughput was very slow.
Tedious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. You couldn't. like 100 horsepower on the front of that. Fine.
Yeah.
No, it didn't need any more.
Never bothered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about foragers now, James. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Forget about sheep and lambs
Yeah.
and stuff.
Well, the bit that pays for the equipment.
Well, the sheep, they do pay for themselves, especially now that the price has finally gone more reasonable. Yeah, the sheep enterprise, because I don't put a huge amount into it,
Yeah.
or I try not to. But again, there's a fine line. You only have so many sheep. They still need looking after. They still need to be looked at. You need to be on hand.
Yeah.
Looking after 10 as opposed to looking after 100, you still
got to be
you've
about.
still got a responsibility to them.
But in fairness, like if you say they pay for themselves, but they don't in a way, because if you took a wage out of them, they would never pay for themselves for all the time you spend.
How much of a wage you want to take?
Well, yeah, but if you paid yourself a reasonable wage, like a living wage, for the amount of time you spend with them, there's no way they'd pay for themselves.
No. I worked it out. I don't when we were back at living back over at Stonesdale, and the amount of hours that I was putting in and what I was getting paid less than £1 an hour.
Yeah.
But you just did.
And that was how many sheep?
Oh, we wouldn't have had a huge number then. We had a lot more when like headage payments were on, but actually we had a group of continental sheep over at Hardra as well. So I don't know exactly. I'm going to say about 900, something like that.
Yeah, so it's not one or two.
No, no.
So yeah,
no. And then we went to Hardra, and I got up to had about 450 there.
right.
And then we moved from there down to here, and it's only 50 acres here, so we're sat at about 150 seems to be the sweet spot.
Yeah,
We had less than that to start with, wasn't enough. I think with a bit of management and a bit of investment, but again, it has to come from somewhere.
yeah,
I think we could do 200 here, no problem.
yeah,
We've got that bit of pasture land as well, right at the top of the valley,
yeah.
which does help in summer.
Yeah.
It takes the pressure off.
When there's no grass.
Exactly. But again, I could push. We're surrounded by dairy farms, and they grow lots of good quality grass. I don't, because I've murdered this place with sheep through winter.
Yeah.
Everything's. I've had a cut off it already.
Yes. Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
My first cut's going into them now.
Yeah.
So I can't have everything.
No.
But yeah, it's we're shipping muck in, just trying to feed the land and make it a lot more productive, because it is steady.
Yeah.
But I can't blame where we are or the land too much, because, like I say, neighbours are making it work.
Yeah.
But the neighbours buy a bit more fertiliser than I do.
But they also, because they're milking cows and not producing sheep, it's a different job altogether.
Well, actually, what one neighbour does, they do have a reasonable number of sheep as well.
Right.
But again, there's such a acreage for them to go over. They're
Yeah.
not really making too much of a.
They're not putting the land under too much pressure, like overstocking.
No, not like my land's all. There's been no sheep on some of it for a week or two now, and it's still grey. It's still, there's nothing growing. It's still grey. It's still like Lucinda. It's still having a petted fit. No,
I'm not growing.
I'll be with you. Yeah, but it's just a case of trying to make everything profitable, because I've screwed expenditure on sheep down to the point where we're on that fine line where the sheep are starting to take harm. That's very professional. Might have to get this. No. We'll see. Do you mind?
Huh?
Hello?
Sheep out.
Sheep on the road. Yeah, the joys of having sheep.
That was what you were saying about having to be about all the time.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because they get out.
The thing is, you can have. Oh, this was especially prevalent over when we were at Hardra because we had the Pennine Way went right through the land, and also one of the favourite walks around that neck of the woods is from Hawes across the valley to Hardra.
Yeah.
Just it's a nice Sunday walk out. We'll go across there. We'll go to the pub. We'll have a look at the waterfall behind. Lovely, but the footfall across there was horrendous. Just one after another, just like a big conga line, and the chances of a gate getting left open. If the first person at a big queue of people opens the gate and doesn't stay with the gate, just waltzes on with their pack of friends, gate's open. More people coming towards it. Oh, that gate's open. There's more people coming. Don't worry. And it's like Chinese whispers. As more people go along, that essence of let's shut the gate, gone.
Yeah.
Because these people coming up to it now. Oh, that gate's open. Oh, we'll better leave it.
Leave it.
Found it. Yeah.
Damn you.
But it just caused lots and lots of problems. I think I fear I've moaned about this before, actually.
Management of sheep is hard enough without mixing them up when you're trying to keep singles and twins separate and all that lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
True.
Right, anyway.
We're wrapping it up, James.
I think we'll leave it.
You sure?
Yes, we'll bash on because, need to get back home.
We don't want a live lambing on camera, do we? We better check that she's lambing and not actually trying to die. Because we had that problem this morning with one trying to put its insides outside.
I wish.
You're just trying your best for them at the time, and you feel for them, but it's got to happen.
Yeah, dear.
I'm sorry, dear, but this isn't going to fly. What you're trying to do now won't do you any favors.
How's what you stop it?
Yeah, this is not good for you. Behave.
Yeah. Right, we'll let you get to that
camera. Then let's have this lamp pulled out.
Go on then.
Oh, it's going to be backwards now. I might have to ask you to cut.
It's coming out.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, and there you go. It's out.
Oh,
That'll do.
it's fabulous.
Good work. It's as easy as that, Nige.
I fear I've talked this job up too much. Yeah. Oh, it's just that simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you know the best thing? She's going to have another. She's scanned for 2. That's a big lamb for 2, isn't it?
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Good job. Right, we'll leave you to
Good work.
it. Yeah, we'll catch you in a bit.